So today and tomorrow, I'm going to show you the most beautiful organisms that I've found here in the Pine Barrens. So that is a chain pickerel. Caught on a weightless paddle tail and a weedless hook with a crushed barb, which is why he came right off. Oh. You might think you're looking into a nasty puddle here in the middle of the Pine Barrens. It is not a nasty puddle. It's one of those magical organisms that I was telling you about. That slick on the surface is from the activity of a bacterium, the Leptothrix ochraceae. This thing is just magic. All life as we know it can be broken down into two forms. And there's going to be a quiz at the end, so pay attention here. One form is a heterotroph, and heterotroph means other, hetero, and then troph, nourishment. Heterotroph. So a heterotroph takes the efforts of another to facilitate its life, to eat. The other is an autotroph, or an autophile. This is an autophile. To be more specific, it is a chemophile. It is a bacterium that can eat and make food from iron, from dissolved iron in the water. And the reason it appears red like that, or ochre, hence the name ochraceae, is that it is fixing that iron from the dissolved iron from the water, turning it to rust, which it then stores on its own body, I guess you could say. So this thing is not only capable of eating dissolved iron, it can also make food from inorganic carbon. And then if that's not available, it can make food from organic carbon. It can eat pretty much anything it encounters in the environment. Inorganic would be oil, inorganic carbon would be like oil, and then organic carbon would be plant life. And so that the mirror finish, the almost mercury looking surface, is a result of that biological activity. I mean, the stuff it's just beautiful. Oh, and it's all lit up too in the sunlight. Oh. So this bacteria quietly and tirelessly has been fixing iron out of the groundwater here in the Pine Barrens for an unimaginable amount of time. As the erosive forces change the direction of waterways, this stuff will become trapped beneath sediment. And over a period of time, the sediment will turn to stone, a stone called a conglomeration. And the conglomeration, after a very, very long period of time, will come back up to the surface. And that is what bog iron is. Oh. So the first industry was likely lumber and charcoal. This place was defoliated. There was, because of the bog iron, you could just walk around and pick it up, right, on any riverbank, put it in on a raft and float it down river to the forge, and cast it into some usable product for the rest of society. Well, once the easy stuff was taken, and you had to incorporate carts, manpower, horsepower, it wasn't feasible anymore to collect the bog iron. So another industry, paper mill, was down this way. Glass, because of the sand resource that's here. So the sand in the Pine Barrens, some parts of the Pine Barrens are so porous that they can get 6 to 20 inches of rain per hour and not become saturated, right? Like they wouldn't flood, they would just drain 6 to 20 inches an hour. I think we got like 40 inches on an annual basis here. I think that's the case. I'll put the real number here maybe. So this water it goes down into reservoir, into an underground reservoir, an aquifer, the Cohansey aquifer and the Kirkwood aquifer. The Cohansey is more shallow and the Kirkwood is below what's called an aquiclude. An aquiclude. The Cohansey is within, I think, what's called an aquitard. I think that's the case. It's been a number of years since I read about that. Look at the color of that. Oh my goodness. So the Leptothrix ochraceae, it fixes dissolved iron out of pine barrens rainwater and turns it into rust. And then after a period of time, the sand that makes up the pine barrens accumulates over it, and through time, pressure, temperature, who knows, it turns into what I said earlier was a conglomerate. This is a very it's a conglomerate of differing size aggregate. The stones are all differing size, so this would be more or less like a building material. There'd be a lot of extra thermal mass needed to melt the iron, which is, you can see it, the banding, the iron banding that's in there. So maybe this would be a building material and they'd save something like that. Well, that's still a lot of aggregate, right? Just smaller grain size. There you go, look at the banding. So cool. And then, yeah, it's a little bit finer, that one there. Yep. And just about the same there. Look at the banding in that. How it's all folded. That was due to Leptothrix ochraceae at some point in the far distant past fixing iron like magic.